All right. Episode 23 of the Elbow Nudge podcast. And this episode was brought to us by recommendation from Sonic the Hedgehog.
From the blue blur himself.
So thank you, Sonic, for this movie recommendation. Now, Caroline, let's jump right in. What did you think of your friend's recommendation of Speed?
Well, first, I gotta call Tom out from Sonic the Hedgehog. We gotta call Hedgehog Protective Services. This movie is not suitable for Sonic to watch. He is too young. He this is
Well, this was Sonic still sneaking around watching it.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking like the part of me that's the Sonic fan, anytime Keanu like cursed or something, I was like, Sonic, you heard that. No.
Close your
Well,
ears, Sonic.
close your ears. Don't listen. But oh my goodness. So I mentioned this to you briefly before we started recording that typically in case people who are listening don't know, Tony and I will take notes on the movie that we are watching for the podcast episode. And we don't show each other our notes or anything, but anything that stands out, any remarks we want to make, anything we want to comment on, or any
Yeah, I
questions.
stand firmly against it, but then I don't know if you still do it, but you would just put it on the Google Docs and it's just always available to look at for some reason. And I never look at it.
I did that more for me and organizational purposes. I don't expect you to go in and look at my Google Docs, but now
I
I don't.
understand. Yeah, it's easy to look at a screen, right?
Yeah.
But you put it in a place where I have access to it as opposed to just putting it in a local area.
I just want to keep it in the podcast Google Doc instead of having it like in storage on my PC. But I did transition out of that. I now have it just on a notepad on my phone. That's where I keep everything now.
Gotcha. All right.
So
Go on.
typically that's but like Tony does the old man method. He has a pen and paper. That's where he writes his stuff and I do it digitally, but this movie I took no notes. I didn't take any notes. I think I have a couple of remarks from at like one third of the way through the movie. I got called to do something, and then I used the restroom and everything. And that's kind of where I started writing down memorable lines and things like that. And then after that, I went back to the movie. But really, this movie is such a. I think the name Speed is very applicable to this film. It's very fast paced and it's very high intensity. I think it was engaging from the beginning. There was never a moment in the movie I felt bored, which I love it. I love when a movie does that.
Yeah, and also the last time I'm going to tie it to Sonic. But for a while I was thinking, why is Sonic watching this? Why do they put this in a Sonic movie? Is it just for the title and that's it? Is it supposed to tie in any other way?
Speed.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's called Speed and that's it. But but yeah, it definitely has that the pacing of something is constantly happening, except for some parts. Some parts are questionable.
Questionable.
When they're going in circles at the airport,
Uh huh.
I feel like a lot of moments. There's a lot of good moments of intensity, and then when there's just driving in circles at the airport is like, all right, there's still good stuff happening, but it's like, all right, they kind of found the, I don't know, they kind of hit a wall. I think they hit a wall.
I think it kind of made sense. And it gave, like, I know the whole purpose of it was to take the focus away from maneuvering the roads to now we have to, like, defuse the bomb, get these people off the bus. And, it took, because they were focusing so much on the road and what they were going to do. And they were always going to you're always going to run on a road. And that was the thing, too, with, like, the highway being under construction and stuff. They're gonna run out of road at some point. It's better to go to the airport. Don't have helicopters with their cameras on them. You can go in circles.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a good idea to be at the airport. But I just think pacing, it's like okay, we hit the most exciting things that could happen while driving around, like on the streets or the highway. And if they wanted to keep it with all that danger of being on the streets or the highway, they could have done that still if they wanted to. But it's not smart for them to keep doing that. What they did is actually better. But from an entertainment side, they could have just kept on driving on like interstate highways. They could have left LA and just kept going, driving until they found a good stop. But I'm not saying, within the logic of what's happening, that's not a good move. I found it kind of funny where it's like, all right, we're driving around in circles for probably like 30 minutes, trying to resolve this.
Uh, I think that was a good call from like even from a writing perspective, not just in the logic of the movie. I think that that was still a pretty smart call and a smart place to put them.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think within the movie logic and for the movie itself. I don't think my idea is better for them to be on the streets always avoiding people. But I just think it's funny to think about, like, imagine a bus driving around in circles on a tarmac for like 30 minutes, and then there's like this, high stakes, this bomb is gonna blow up, but but they can't stop, so they're just like on a merry-go-round, just like
Yeah, they're just
over
driving
and over
around the
again.
runway.
Yeah.
It was good too because we got to see them kind of experiment with different ideas. They had everything blocked off, so they were kind of just figuring out what to do. It's like, oh, let's lower Keanu on this little rigging so he can go under the bus. Okay, let's get a fuel truck. Let's get a little safety bus next to them and start loading people. Like, you could only do that on the tarmac.
All right, let's have Keanu stab the gas tank.
Oh, that was so dumb. Why would he? Why did he do that? Keanu is so capable the whole movie. He's the Mary Elizabeth Winstead type of protagonist because he's so resourceful. He's always coming up with something on the fly this whole movie. But he has a one. This is what keeps him from reaching the Mary Elizabeth Winstead protagonist level is that he stabbed the freaking gas tank. Why would you do that? It's just
Yeah, I know it was out of panic, and I guess he was trying to mountain climb his way up, but horizontally, and he just stabs the gas tank. But man, if he
it's
didn't do that, their finale would have been flawless.
uh
They could have recorded a longer looped video for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes that they were planning, and it would have been perfect. They would have been caught.
I had that I this song always lives rent free in my mind, but that was it hide your kids, hide your wife. But the part of the song where he's like, "You are so dumb. You are really dumb for
For
real."
real.
Like that's exactly what's going through my mind when he did that. I was like, "Yeah, yeah."
I was thinking, if we're bringing up the so dumb moments.
Okay. Hit me.
Uh, didn't he have a gun at the final train fight? Couldn't he shoot?
Yes.
Couldn't he shoot Anne's handcuffs?
He No, he lost the gun when he dodged or no, when that guy was going crazy with his um I can't I don't know the name of the gun, but when he had his automatic and he was shooting up, Keanu like
Yeah, he
turned
had
and
like a submachine gun.
his gun like fell off. He had it in his hand, but then he had to like quickly do a little roll, and his gun fell out of his hand, so he had no weapon.
So both of them lost their gun.
Correct.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So they could just hug it out until hopefully
Yeah,
that pole breaks, which it did.
it did.
Yeah,
Oh, that was something. My heart was in my throat. I had never seen this movie before. That's the thing. I know that you said you had seen it a while back, right?
it was so long ago, and I'll tell you, the only scene I remember is them laying on that cover that leads to the underside of the bus where they both get on it
Uh
and
huh.
then they slide off the bus. They're
That
the
was
two last people to slide off the bus.
that was such a great scene, by the way.
That's the only scene I remember from the entire movie. But now after the rewatch, I actually know what the story's about, who these
You
characters
remember
are.
everything, the context.
Yeah, it all makes sense now, and it's cool.
It Yeah, I mean this is my first time watching it and my heart was in my throat. At the part where she's telling him like to like get the handcuffs off her, I was like, "Oh, that's it. They're done. Game over, man. Game over." And they made it out. They made it out. I was I couldn't take my eyes away from the screen. I had like there were parts that I gasped out loud. I was going like, "Come on, man," to the TV, like everything.
What about when that baby stroller got ran over?
Oh my gosh. That was one of the gasping out loud. I fully went and then the cans went in the air and I was like, "Oh, the
Yeah, yeah.
sigh of relief." But what is this an LA thing? Is this a California thing? Why do they put cans in a stroller? Are they trying to like here we put cans in a trash bag if you take it we have like a steel. mill company here. You take aluminum cans there, they'll give you like 5 cents a can. That's a way to like for people to
Right.
just earn a little bit more, a couple of bucks. But I don't know why you would put cans in a baby stroller.
I don't know either. I know there's a lot of homelessness out there, and maybe that's a thing that actually you can see, but I've never been there. I don't think you've ever been there.
I've been there once, yeah. I've
Okay,
been
so
to LA.
so you would know. Have you
I,
seen
I've
it?
I've been to LA once and I didn't see that.
Have you seen any baby cans and strollers?
I've never seen any baby cans and baby strollers.
Okay.
I I don't know what that was, but man, I'm so glad there wasn't a real baby in there. I was along with Sandra Bullock, who was like, "Oh my god, I hit a baby."
That was the biggest not action moment, just like that's the one that caught me out there. That's the scene that got me like, "Oh no, would they do that? They would kill a baby in this movie?" But no, we're safe. We're safe.
No, there was no baby in any danger, which is great.
But it
But
was getting pretty wild. Like little
oh
kids were in
yeah,
danger. They were swerving around innocent little kids and pedestrians.
I wonder. This is like we were talking beforehand about like things you think of as an adult. That was one of the things running through my head is like, yo, are all these people gonna get to like file an insurance claim because their car got wrecked and things like that? Like, does the city pay for it? Does their insurance pay for it? Because it's really this madman who's causing all this city damage. Who's paying for all this? And like that was all that was running through my head when I would see like, the subway comes out from under the ground and like the
Yeah.
bus and the plane explodes and things like that. All this city wreckage. I was like, whoa, whoa.
For the city, it has to be taxes, and then for personal people, it has to be insurance.
If you're not insured, sorry, you just got speeded.
Jack, played by Keanu, was he even asked the driver,
Are you insured?
"Yeah, are you insured?" He's like, "Yeah, all right." I didn't think he had to bust the
Yeah.
door
Why
open.
do you use the door? It's a convertible. You can jump out.
I think he could have used that edge of the door to have a
Of
better jump.
You could, yeah, exactly, exactly. Keanu, why are you destroying private property, huh? Keanu.
His jump into the bus also wasn't all that great. It got me a little worried that he was
Oh yeah,
gonna
he
lose his
could have
leg.
used an extra step from that door, but
Perhaps.
no. I will say this though. I've only seen Keanu in a handful of films, and by that I mean John Wick 1 and 2 and The Matrix 1.
Okay.
Trying to think of any other movie I've seen him in, but nothing else is coming to mind. I think this might be out there. This is one of the best movies he's acted in. This is like his acting in this movie was really good. I don't like him as Neo. I think that the Matrix. We've had this conversation where I'm not the hugest fan of the Matrix. I think a lot of the technology and the way that the shots are is pretty cool, but I don't like the characters' personalities. I don't like how robotic and unfeely they are. But in this movie, it was nice to just see him play a cop, a really resourceful one at that. I think he did a great job.
Yeah, it's very rare to see him in a role like this. Well, he's done Bill and Ted's the series of Bill and Ted movies. But yeah, the way we know him now is as John Wick and Neo. And those are roles where he doesn't have to really be funny or
He doesn't
quick
emote as
quick-witted or
much.
emote. Yeah. So Neo really plays to how he I guess it plays to his strength. Just I don't know because he kind of seems like that in interviews. He's very reserved.
Yeah,
So yeah. So seeing him play this kind of how do you describe him? Because he's not like your traditional good cop. He's kind of like
he's
a
a
hot shot, right?
yeah. He likes to take a lot of risks and
Yeah.
without asking questions first and without really assessing the situation. But I do
Yeah.
like that he's real quick to jump into action. He doesn't hesitate to like dive and to save people and to take initiative.
So I want to say two different things about what we just spoke about. First, I'll say the thing that doesn't require very much explanation or like much conversation.
Mhm.
When he sees the first bus explode, and that's like the signal to of like this challenge beginning, that he has to find the bus that we follow him on the rest of the movie on.
Mhm.
when he sees that bus explode when he's coming out of the cafe, he's running towards it because, he's a responsible cop. He's going to check out the situation. My initial reaction is, why is he running towards a bus? They're all dead.
Oh,
There's no one there to save. They're definitely all dead.
he's got to go
But
assess.
but yeah, you got to check. Obviously, you got to check, see if anybody could have survived that. But my first, I mean, that looked like a Michael Bay explosion. That was definitely no survivors.
Oh
And
yeah.
we found out there are no survivors. But it was just like, all right, good for you. Good for you running towards a bus that's completely engulfed in fire. But the second one, talking about Keanu, seeing him kind of act differently, I thought that about Sandra Bullock. As I was watching this, I was thinking, I haven't seen Sandra Bullock be happy in a while.
I was thinking of that like out of context too, like just a general observation of I haven't seen Sandra Bullock be happy. I wonder how she's doing.
Yeah, because she's laughing and smiling.
I really like her character. I like how I even like her look. I think she looks really cool. I like her hair, her makeup. From a that kind of perspective, I was like, "Yo, Sandra, you look good in this film." But yeah, I haven't seen her act that way. I'm trying to think of like other movies I've seen her in recently. She was in what, like Bird Box. Well, I know right now she's in The Lost City. That's supposed to be like a
Right.
comedy.
So she's probably doing all right in that one. She's probably kind of happy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movies that came to mind for me were Bird Box, and obviously these movies don't call for her to be happy in them, but it's just, Bird Box, I saw Ocean's 8, I saw Gravity. These are the movies I thought were like she's not, she plays to the situation, but it was just different to see her smiling and laughing in this movie.
Yeah, I've seen The Proposal, but in The Proposal, she's like the uptight one and Ryan Reynolds is the funny one.
Right, I saw that
Um
movie too. I forgot about it.
I'm trying to think. Oh, I've seen The Blind Side. And yeah, she's playing a real person in The Blind Side. And yeah, she's not like the joke cracking person, but it was just nice to see her play this kind of everyday LA resident, kind of quippy. She keeps up with Keanu, like in terms of acting and like characters. She's on Keanu's level. I think that was really great to see is how they were quipping back and forth, and even like her telling him, like, I should let you know, officer, my light, like, I'm taking the bus because my license is revoked, and he's like, why was it revoked? And she's like, speeding.
Yeah, he should have
Yeah.
just looked at the camera. He was like like a few more degrees away from looking at the camera when she said that, like
Yeah.
giving a wink.
Yeah. I love that line so much. It was so funny.
And I think it's perfect that he didn't say anything to that.
Mhm.
He could have
Mhm.
said the movie is kind of set up for those one-liners, the back and forth comebacks and stuff. He could have said like perfect or like
Yeah.
you're the woman for the job. But he was just like, all right, nothing. And then just walks away.
You just see him give her like a little look like, "Huh."
Yeah. It reminded me of, I forgot which Mission Impossible it was, but
Oh,
it's a
I've seen
scene
all
that
of
I've,
them.
well, because I know it's with Rebecca Ferguson, but she's been in like two now, or I think it's three. But
Rogue
it's the one where they
Nation.
have the underwater heist thing where
Oh.
he's underwater for like 10 minutes or something. And yeah, it's a scene that I like to bring up because she's like describing the whole plan. They're going over it like classic Mission Impossible. And then she says, yeah, it's never been done before. It's impossible. And then it cuts to Tom Cruise like smirking.
Ba, 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 ba.
I love that so much. I'm like, come on, look who you're talking to. Come on.
Yeah, that's Rogue Nation. That's Rogue Nation.
Okay, cool, cool.
Is that the one with Henry Cavill? No, Henry Cavill is Fallout.
And that's after Rogue Nation.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, another good action movie.
This is kind of weird, but I was getting a lot of. You haven't seen the movie. I was getting a lot of Cars references from this
Okay.
film, just from the like having to go. What is it like the I am speed? Like that's a line in Cars.
And what do they say here?
I'm trying to remember. There's this line from Cars where, um, okay, maybe I'm not remembering it correctly. I dropped this
Are
bit.
you just trying to link this to Cars by any means necessary?
No, no, there was a couple of things that reminded me of Cars, but I just can't remember it now. And it's funny because when I was watching the movie, I remember being like, "Oh, this is kind of like this reminds me of Cars," but I'm drawing a blank. This is what happens when I don't take any notes.
You got to take the mental notes, hold it in there.
I know, I
This
know.
is why I'm telling you, you got to exercise those brain muscles. You know,
I,
you can remember these things.
I do all the time.
Let's go to the beginning with this elevator scene. I want to ask you about.
Okay.
Well, let's start with: have you ever been stuck in an elevator?
No. Have you?
I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds nightmarish.
It it could be. I was watching this movie and I had those ideas in my mind. Like I remember when I was stuck in an elevator. It wasn't too bad actually, because our building had an elevator that would like rarely get stuck. Because I was gonna say occasionally, but no, like less than that. It would get stuck. It is possible it could get stuck, and it's fine. Maybe after like 20 minutes, they could get you out. But yeah, in this situation with a lot more people, I was feeling a little bit of like a little bit of panic. Like, oh no, what if somebody decides like, because they were saying like, oh, we've been in here too long. Oh, it's getting hot. You know, people start getting like panicky and irritable. Then other people start panicking, and then it just becomes a horrible situation in there. If everyone stays
Yeah.
calm, it's fine. It's just like, all right, we'll wait it out. But one person starts panicking, it's game over. It becomes a problem. People start getting crazy. They'll start flailing. They'll start trying to pull the doors open, slamming buttons, and it becomes a problem. But yeah, I think they really captured that. In some moments, it really felt like claustrophobic and a little bit of panic setting in. But I wanted to say now, in this situation for the movie, this was completely necessary. Once once they get to the area where they could see the elevator and start pulling them out, that's what they had to do because they were on the clock.
Mhm.
But in real life, that's one of the most dangerous things you could do because you're seeing you're seeing what could have happened. Like the elevator could just drop and you could just be decapitated. You know, like you're never supposed to pull someone out if the elevator is like halfway between floors. And that's what was going through my mind. I was thinking, is this the kind of movie that's gonna show me someone get cut in half, like
I for sure
Darth
thought
Maul style?
yeah, I for sure thought when that old lady, like at the not but like the elder lady, the
Yeah, the
last
older
one,
lady.
when she was like too scared to move, I was like, "Oh, you're dead. That's it. The movie wants us to like bait our breath. They're gonna like," I was like, "They're gonna Darth Maul her and everything."
It was hard to watch. Everyone survived, but you don't know while you're watching. It's like one at a time. People are coming out. That thing is dropping a couple inches every time.
It's the
It's like,
beginning of the movie too. I was like, watch them. They're not gonna pull any punches. They're gonna show people die.
yeah. You see a guy get stabbed in the neck before this, and the blood gush out.
Yeah.
So it kind of sets a tone of maybe this could happen. Maybe we could see someone lose a foot. But yeah, thankfully they got everyone out. And it was nice of that guy to like wait for her, like the second to last guy
Mhm.
to get pulled out.
Like
He's like,
he
"Come
wanted
on."
her to go first. Like
Yeah.
come on, I'll help you up.
Yeah, that's brave.
Very. I am. I'm really scared of being like in tight spaces where like I can't move. This is not the same feeling, but I remember when I was a teenager and like being at church, you would like go up to the front. Like how churches will ask you to like go up to the front so that way everybody could like pray or worship and things like that. My first experience going forward, there's so many people around me that I couldn't move to like go back to my seat, and I got really scared. And I remember Ashley like reached her hand and like pulled me out and was like, "Come on, let's go to our seat." And I remember being like, so
Wow.
so already that like made me think to myself like I never want to be in a situation where I'm surrounded with people like that. And so when I saw like everybody mushed together in that elevator, I was like, "Oh no, couldn't be me."
That's what I'm saying. It could be a huge problem if you get in your head about it. Then you're like, not enough air in here.
Yeah.
Too many people. Not enough space.
I'd have to put my AirPods on and tune everybody out and just listen to like some soundtrack. Just take my mind away from the current situation because that is so terrifying. And then especially there were times where those people they were dropped like two times. The
Yeah.
first initial fall and then the second fall and then that's whenever they were all that's when that hook was trying to
Hold. Yeah, the
hold them
crane.
up.
Yeah.
And that's such a scary situation to be in. That's like what's that ride at Six Flags? Or even like isn't that Tower of Terror? That's what at
Yeah.
Disney World.
Yes.
That's
The
what it
Tower of
is.
Terror.
But this time you're not strapped into a seat. You're like free falling. That's so
And the terror
scary.
is real.
It is a Tower of Terror.
And then they drop. They had those multiple smaller drops along the way too.
Mm-hmm. But what's an express elevator? Is that just like like a faster elevator or an elevator that bypasses floors?
I believe so. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it is only for skyscraper buildings, and it just goes really fast. Like it has to skip multiple floors. I'm trying to remember because I've been on a just like a tour at the Empire State Building, and we got on an elevator. I'm trying to remember if they called it an express elevator, but yeah, it was zooming through floors. It took just like a couple minutes to go
Wow.
through all those floors. So I assume it's that. And then I don't know if there's just like regular elevators that go normal speed when you just work there and you have to go to like floor 4 or something. But I guess it has to work out like that because this building we know for sure has
46
yeah,
floors?
yeah. I think he typed in 46, right, or 48, but either way, it's a skyscraper.
It's got more than 40 floors. I think that qualifies as a skyscraper.
Right, right.
What a way to start the movie, though. I think that that was such a like high intensity. Like they got you from the gateway, like straight up. We had a little moment of rest when you had like the award ceremony and hit like Keanu picking up a cup of coffee and things like that. But then it's like, okay, we go from elevator to bus. Let's go.
Now it's really the only downtime, right? When he went to grab a coffee.
Yep. That was the only downtime because after that, it's all high intensity.
Yeah,
Like thinking on the fly, what do we do? How do we solve this? How do we get out of the situation? You're thinking that throughout the elevator scene, and then, okay, Keanu, get your medal, get some coffee. He never really got his coffee. He left his coffee on the roof of his car, which is kind of wait
classic.
waste of a good cup, but yeah, classic. And then straight
I
to the
know you would
bus.
have drank it off the floor, right? Like
I would not. How
just
dare
salvage it.
you? Am I an
What
animal? Am I an animal?
for coffee? You tell
No,
me.
not for that. I value, my hygiene and my immune
But
system.
that's precious. That's like liquid gold.
Yeah, but when it's on the ground, it's dirt.
It's just a little bit of cement.
All right, now you're the one that sounds like the addict. If you're willing to make it
No, no,
seem like,
no. I'm trying to dissect your mindset on this.
well, I'm telling you, that's where I draw the line. I would
I would
not do
never
that.
drink coffee from the floor. I would never drink coffee from a cup. I would never
Yeah, I
drink
know.
coffee straight from the bean. Never.
Straight from the bean.
Yes.
Like the
I would
bean
never drink
is a
coffee in its
cow.
purest form from the jungles.
Like the bean is a cow and the coffee comes from it.
Yeah, don't you just wring it out into a cup and then you put the bean back? I don't drink coffee, so I don't know how this works.
You grind the beans into like a
Why would you do
powder.
that to that poor little bean? I'm standing against this.
You're gonna be like the pita, but for coffee.
Right. I hope PETA's on this. I hope they've been fighting the good fight against coffee bean abusers.
uh, they hate me.
Oh, for sure. You're on a bean slaughter.
You can be sure of this. I was watching that cup of coffee while he was driving, and I saw it fall off, and I was like, "No,
No. Slow. You saw the slow motion, the slow down in your mind.
no."
Would you have dived for it if you were next to it? Would you
I
have
would.
dived for it?
No, I'm not gonna risk my life. I'll buy another cup. It's like $1. Come on, man.
I just want to know to what extent.
That's too far.
All right. Would you have yelled for Jack like, "Hey, your coffee's on the
Yeah,
hood"? Would you have done
absolutely I
that?
would have. I would have been
Oh,
like, "Hey,
okay.
your coffee's up there."
Hey, you're driving with some coffee on your hood.
You got some liquid gold up there, man.
You're gonna make me drink it off the floor or what?
I would not drink it off the floor. That's too far. Anybody who drinks coffee off the
You're gonna make
floor.
me ShamWow this and rig it into
If I ever needed an excuse to carry a ShamWow, that's one of it.
Can't lose an ounce of that liquid gold.
Listen, once it touches the road, that's it. There's no 5-second rule for liquid. You just gotta let it go.
Yeah, you're right.
Buy another cup. It's only like coffee is one of the cheapest things to buy. Sometimes,
What?
well, I mean, like if you were to go to a gas station, coffee is super cheap. You can get a large coffee for like $3 versus like obviously it's Starbucks. That's where it starts getting cray cray.
$3 is cheap?
Yeah. Also, by the way, they sell their water bottles for like $2.30. So you're paying 70 cents more and you're getting coffee. So, like, come on,
But
people.
water is healthy and they give you more in that
I'm
bottle.
saying it's not that much of a leap if you want to kick.
How many ounces of water do you get versus ounces of coffee?
It's one of those like giant Aquafina bottles that they sell at the gas
Exactly.
station. But then also, you've never seen it because you've never gotten it. But those large coffee cups at the gas station, that's enough to fill. It's like 20 ounces of coffee, like 24 ounces. They're huge.
Yeah, I can't picture that. I can only picture the small blue cups that you get at the bodegas.
Oh, I saw that in No Way Home. That's it,
Yeah.
that little blue cup, right? That he
Yeah,
orders.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
Well, at a gas station, not a bodega.
A glorious gas station.
Yes, you can buy them larger and they're delicious. But it's super cheap. Coffee is super cheap. It obviously like that depends on the quality because you'll have like these coffee connoisseurs who are like, we have these beans from Brazil and we've grinded them ourselves and
That
blah
we
blah
hand
blah.
wrung ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. But gas station coffee is like the cheapest thing. Coffee, just basic coffee, is like super
That's
cheap.
expensive to me. Even those water bottles are. I mean, when you're really thirsty on a hot day,
I mean, yeah,
sure.
you'll
No,
pay
no,
anything for
yeah, you'll pay
a cold
anything.
water. But yeah,
But that's why I carry on. I carry my 64 ounce just filled up. But yeah, those bottles are expensive at gas stations, and that coffee does not sound cheap to me. And if you're gonna have one, I know there's regulars who go there every morning, almost $3 every morning. I don't know
it's a cheap cup of coffee, man.
if you say so. Dave Ramsey will not agree. That's not smart. You're not gonna become a millionaire like that, wasting $3 a day.
One of the things I just remember from the movie was when Keanu's on the phone with his partner, and he hands the phone to that guy, that touristy guy. By the
Right?
way,
Yeah.
I recognize that actor. Who's that actor?
Oh yeah, I should have looked him up. He does look
Speed.
familiar.
I know him in a film, but while I'm looking him up, I like when he's telling like that guy, like, oh, repeat to him everything I say. And then he says, like, oh, F this. And the guy goes, oh, darn.
Yeah, yeah, I like that too. It was a long pause to decide
Yeah,
what he
you
was
can
gonna
see him
say.
looking. He's like, oh, darn.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
That was funny.
I guess a little bit too talkative for
Oh,
Anne, but
I could immediately tell his type when he was trying to talk to Sandra Bullock. I could immediately.
what's his type?
He's one of those guys that are trying to. We're just one of those typical pickup guys that they talk your ear off. They want to like they say things in the hopes of you asking them a question so they can talk your ear off further. Even where he's like, what was it, first time, like on a bus or something? He's like, first time in LA. And then she's like, oh no, I live here. And he's like, oh, and I'm talking about me. It's my first time
Yeah,
in LA. He just starts rattling off. And I was like, I know this type. I know this type of guy.
yeah, and he could keep talking without even asking. He doesn't have to wait for the question. He will keep talking.
He will. He will make sure he keeps talking. Oh man, who's this dude? I can't find a picture of him. But
Look up
I
the
know
cast.
I'm
What's his
looking
name in the
I'm on
cast?
IMDb so I could see his face. I can't remember his name in the movie.
Okay. Type in tourist guy from Speed.
Okay.
I think you'll get something with that.
Tourist guy from Speed. From Speed Racer.
Just Speed. Unless there's a tourist guy in Speed Racer as well. That's weird.
I saw Speed Racer. I don't remember a tourist guy. I'm getting a bunch of results. That's like, this is a photograph of a tourist on the World Trade Center out minutes before 9/11. I don't want that. I want from
Wow, really?
Speed. Yeah. A tourist guy from Speed the movie.
I guess
Ah,
you really could look anything up.
is this him? Is this him? Alan Ruck.
The name doesn't ring a bell.
It does not ring a bell. What about what he's been in? He was in Twister. I saw Twister. He's in.
Twist is another movie I saw so long ago. I only remember one scene, the one where they're holding on to like a pipe or something
Here, I'm
while the
sending
twisters
him.
are.
I'm sending him his Wikipedia page. I'm sending you
All
his
right.
Wikipedia so you can see if there's any films you know of in here.
Okay.
Oh, he's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's the main character.
Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Bueller.
He's Ferris Bueller?
No. Ferris Bueller is Matthew Broderick. But did you ever see Ferris Bueller?
No.
Okay, so Ferris Bueller is played by Matthew Broderick, but the movie takes a place from the perspective of his best friend named Cameron. And Ferris Bueller is like a hotshot, flies by the seat of his pants, really does whatever he wants and always gets away with it. Cameron is never that lucky. Cameron is always like the goody two shoes guy. And so that's who he plays. He plays Cameron. He's the main character of Ferris Bueller.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't recognize him then.
I mean, did you watch The Happening? He's in The Happening.
I see a lot of movies here that
He's in
I mean,
Cheaper by the Dozen.
yeah, his filmography. I've seen a lot of these movies, but I don't recognize him.
I'm just trying to find any horror movie and be all like, "Have you seen this?"
That's him? The one who gets his arm cut off? Yeah, what? He's in Sierra Burgess's A Loser, the Netflix film.
The Netflix film that got roasted for being body positivity film.
Anti body positivity, body positivity. How many negatives is that?
The movie says it promotes body positivity, like they don't fat shame or anything like that, but then like they actually do, but like ridicule bodies, like they're anti-body positivity while claiming to be body positive.
Really?
That was the title of a YouTube video that got on my recommended page.
The movie that's anti
Body positivity movie.
what? Is this somebody? Did you watch the video?
No, I didn't.
All right. So, did you see any clips about it that will show it being anti body positivity?
I did watch this one film reviewer. She's not like a film reviewer, but she's like this girl that I follow, and I kind of like her shtick. I've mentioned her to you before. She puts on makeup and just kind of converses with people like
Yeah.
about either true crime or about a movie that she saw and liked. And I used to always watch her when I would go to school because I'd put on my makeup while she is, and it's just kind of neat. And she made a reference to this film about how it's called Sierra Burgess, and the main character is Sierra Burgess. Um, how she's like a bad person. She's like a really bad person, and she justifies herself being a bad person as just because she's been looked down on because she's kind of fat. Even though she doesn't look fat at all. Like she looks totally normal. She's a beautiful girl. But like
Yeah, she's a Stranger Things girl. I forgot her name.
oh, she is. She is.
Yeah.
She
Season
plays
1.
Barb.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice callback. I didn't even catch that. But yeah, the YouTuber made a reference that she's like a terrible person because she fat shames and bullies other people for how they look, and then when something happens to her, she spends like the whole movie obsessing over how she was called a bad name and called this and called that, like how she was bullied.
I'm trying to remember because I've seen one of those commentary videos on it,
Mm-hmm.
not like a video essay style, like more like joking around watching the movie style. And I saw some scenes where she likes this boy, and then somehow they get into like the shenanigans of like he gets her number, or he gets a yeah, he gets her number, but he thinks is like another like popular pretty girl's number, so she's pretending to be her, and then she's like texting him pretending to be her, so
Oh,
basically catfishing
she's
him.
catfishing him.
Yeah, yeah, and then she's like lying the whole time, and then they even do this one switcheroo where like she like that popular girl gets in on it, and then she's like, all right, you have to go on a date with him and pretend blah blah blah, and then they're like about to go for a kiss. She tells him to close his eyes, and then like Sierra Burgess comes up, kisses him, and then like goes sneaks off or whatever, and then
Whoa.
yeah, they were like making fun of that, and like how that could pretty much be, you know, catfishing, lying, gaslighting, anything you want to call it, and that like yeah. So I saw it for that, but not for any body shaming. I don't know. I didn't see any scenes about that, but maybe
Any any anti body positivity
right.
messages?
That's hard for me to anti body positivity.
You did
All
it.
right, that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
You did it.
All right.
It comes with practice.
All right, so this is our next movie or what?
No, no.
Okay.
I don't want to see this.
Yeah, I don't really want to see it very much either.
Besides, we're going from Sonic to Speed. Then you want to go to Sierra Burgess as a loser? Ah.
We got to keep the S theme, right? This month is S
Oh.
theme.
Well, yeah, because Sky High, Sonic, Speed.
Oh, whoa. That wasn't
Yeah.
even planned. That
It's
was
not.
not planned.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Wow. So we have to we have to do one more, right? With an
I
S.
know. It's a shame Sonic 2 comes out. We like to get our scheduling in. Sonic 2 won't come out within enough time for us to do it by next week's episode. Like we're gonna watch it next week, but
Yeah.
not within enough time to do the episode.
Right.
That would have been perfect.
All right, we'll just do Man of Steel.
No.
What does yes stand for? It's not an S. For my planet, it means hope.
So dumb.
So awesome. Thank you, Zach.
So dumb. No, rescind
Man of
that.
Steel it is. There's a big S
you can
on
thank,
that.
You can thank Zack Snyder off this pod. This pod does not endorse Zack Snyder. I would never from this podcast say, oh, Ryan Reynolds is such a funny dude. I'm doing that in air quotes.
You
Come on,
basically
man.
said that and I let it slide.
Air quotes.
No, you basically said that earlier. You're like in the proposal. You're like, oh yeah, Sandra Bullock was this, and then
Oh,
Ryan
yeah, I
Reynolds
did.
he brought the comedy, and my eyes rolled out of my skull. And I'm like, all right, you call that comedy, sure.
Oh, yeah.
I let it slide.
Okay. I'll let this one. Next topic.
All right. So, thank you, Zach. Is acceptable.
Oh,
What's up?
I did remember one thing.
What's up?
When the subway comes out of the underground,
Yes.
there's a shot in the back of the theater.
Yes.
Did you see what movie it was?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
It's all coming together.
Wow.
First, we got the Willoughbys in Interstellar, and now we got 2001: A Space Odyssey in Speed.
And now call out the other Easter egg. Call out the second one.
What's the second one?
Anne was from Arizona.
She's a wildcat!
Get your head in the game.
Oh my god! It's all
Caroline,
coming together.
when we started this pod, I didn't think we'd become a part of a bigger universe. And we just didn't know it yet.
There was an idea.
I had no idea. But we're in it.
We're in it now.
Wow. We really have to think of an S movie, though. The fourth one. The fourth and final one. We got to do it.
We can brainstorm. Kind of
All right, yeah.
Put some S films in the...
Minus some Man of Steel until we top that.
We are not going to do Man of Steel. Also, that doesn't start with an S. It starts with an M.
I know, but there's a big old S on the poster.
That doesn't count.
I'll write it with an S.
Plus, I don't want to
Man
watch
of Steel.
It
Has an S in it, too.
I do not want to watch a Zack Snyder film.
Snack Snyders.
I do not want to watch a Zack Snyder
But you
film.
will when we watch Arthur, King Arthur. We're gonna have to review that.
I can't believe he's defiling one of my heroes. Yes, we will have to watch
The-
that one.
Yeah, and we will talk about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
will. That's not coming out for a while though.
yeah. It could even be canceled. Who knows? From now until then, there's a lot of time.
Movies that start with an S. Here we go.
Wait, let's finish this up, and then we'll get to that.
I
We'll
agree.
get
I'm
to
just putting this on the side, on the back burner until we wrap up.
I mean, Spider-Man starts with an S.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Maybe too soon. But yeah, I'm glad you caught the 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I'm glad
Wildcats
you
was huge.
I'm glad you caught the Wildcats. That did not run through my brain.
As soon as I heard Wildcats, I'm like, oh,
Oh, there was another one, kind of, sort of, a little
what's
bit,
up?
not really. When he calls Ortiz Gigantor. I was thinking
Oh yeah,
Night at the Museum. Get down here,
yeah.
Gigantor.
Ortiz was a cool guy.
Yeah, he had a good attitude. He was really helpful. He was the one that was like, grab my legs, and he was trying to pull him out from under the bus. Like, what a bro. What a
Oh, and
bro.
you know what?
Hmm.
I'm glad if you didn't bring that up, I wouldn't have remembered this because I forgot to write it down. But I saw a Twitter moment in this movie
Hmm.
where Ortiz
A
said,
Twitter moment.
yeah, Ortiz said, I have a wife, a wife and kids at home. And then another guy from the back says, "Oh, so what are you trying to say? Because I don't
Wait,
have a wife,
I'm
my life is
expendable.
expendable." Yeah,
That is such a Twitter moment. I need to remember make a note of that. I'm gonna put that in the highlight. I can edit that. That is such a Twitter moment.
yeah. I thought you would see it that way too. I'm like, dang, look at this guy jumping to conclusions
Right?
out of
It's like,
nowhere.
bruh, he did not even mention you. He's just saying he has a reason to get off the bus.
Yeah, and then he goes and ats him out of nowhere.
Yeah. So
What's
what you
that
saying?
about? But yeah, so overall, what do you think of this? Just
I liked it.
straightforward action movie.
Yeah, instantly. I have the instant answer. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. Sometimes there are movies that I watch that my brain starts you have the left brain and the right brain. The right brain is just trying to have fun, but the left brain every now and then comes in with its analytical conclusions and tries to interrupt the fun, be a little party
Right.
pooper. Sometimes it happens to me when I watch an action flick. The left brain will knock on the door and be like, "Hey, this is a really dumb action movie. Like, this is a movie purely made for money and just trying to bank off people who want to see dumb action." Like, I got that during Skyscraper, the Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
I did see that, yeah, and,
Okay.
I had that same feeling of, like, this is kind of just an action film. I have nothing personally against that. I'm just saying this is a phenomenon that occurs in my brain when I'm watching a dumb action film, or I should just say a pure action film. But in this movie, I did not get that. I was hooked. I was engaged the whole time. I really liked ever since you showed me 10 Cloverfield Lane, I've really appreciated it when characters are smart in movies, putting the gas tank scene aside, Keanu.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated that this guy was smart and that like Keanu was smart, Sandra Bullock was smart, like everybody in this movie was on their game in terms of character and in acting. And I really appreciated that. And the music is really cool. The music is so cool for
Oh yeah.
speeding, and it was just like it was keeping up all the beats. I was like, I was
I
all
forgot
in.
about that. The theme, like the main, I can't replicate it right now because I have to hear it
Yeah,
again.
it kind of sounds like Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I was getting Mortal Kombat vibes in my head.
I was getting something. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be from somewhere else, like another movie or another game. I thought it was maybe like Metal Gear or Top Gun. I don't know, something like that.
Something. You're on the nose there. Like you're warm. You're getting around there.
It's been used before. I know it. Does it go like dun 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 dun? Dun? Is that familiar, or am I thinking about it wrong?
I'm
Dun
hearing it
dun
right now. I'm
dun
trying to
dun dun
find it.
dun 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 dun. Dun. It's such a familiar beat.
What's crazy is that this movie, it they didn't I was that's like one of the few things I looked up. they didn't really release a soundtrack or like the OST for the movie like the way a movie would do, and like for they released songs inspired by the movie Speed, and it was like covers from all of these pop and rock bands and things like that. And then after the film was released, they released an album of some of the composers like songs from the film, but it wasn't in sequential order. They were just like, "Oh yeah, here's some of it."
That's strange. Yeah, I wasn't looking for the soundtrack. I was looking at the composer for the movie, and I forgot his name. But then I saw his filmography, and there's all these popular movies on there. Where I thought, is this right? This can't be right.
I found it. Here you go. I'm
I don't
sending it to
know.
you. It's like a bum 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 bum.
Yeah, is that Metal Gear or what?
Uh,
I don't know if we
me-
can confirm that right now, but
Metal Gear theme song. We're doing this. We're doing it live. We're gonna find it.
oh darn, we'll do it live.
Oh darn, we're doing it live. You know what? I'm gonna send you the beginning of this. It sounds similar. It doesn't have that like bum 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 bum, but the tunes leading up to it sound really similar. I
Okay.
just came from hearing the Speed song, and now I'm hearing this, and I'm like, oh, I hear it. I hear the similarities.
There's probably something closer. I feel like I've heard the exact beat before. But
Uh,
that's fine. That's fine. We could get to the
bum,
bottom
bum,
of
bum,
that
bum, bum, bum.
at another time.
What about you? I assume I'm assuming, but I don't want to make an assumption that you like this film.
I do like this film, and if I had to nitpick it, I would just say the finale. I feel like it could have been a little shorter because I feel like the grand finale was the bus exploding the plane.
Okay, that's a really good point because when I had to pause it to use the restroom after they got the people off the bus, and I paused it and I saw I still had like 30 minutes left in the movie, and I was like, "What? But what? They got isn't that like they got the people off the bus, but no, then they kind of that was the part where they dragged it out a little bit. They dragged it once you got on the subway. I was like, "What? Come on, man. You
Yeah,
lost.
it didn't need to be that long.
You lost."
I was thinking that before I hit play on the movie because before even looking it up, we decided we were going to watch this last week. And then I was thinking, Speed, that's an action movie from the 90s. It's got to be like 90 minutes for sure. And then before playing it, I was like, wait, what? 2 hours? How can you fill that much runtime with a bus that can't go below 50 miles per hour? How long does this thing has to drive?
Yeah, like how this isn't gonna. I actually thought because I saw the movie today. Obviously, I thought I was gonna have time when you texted me like, "Hey, you want to record today?" I was like, I got time to watch this movie." So I turned on the movie, and that's when I saw the runtime. I was like, it's almost 2 hours. It's an hour and 55 minutes.
Yes.
I was like, how why is this movie that long? This is crazy.
I think it was the extended cut.
This is the director's cut.
Yeah, because that finale, as great as it was, it went on for a while. It definitely did.
I definitely felt that relief that I think an audience is supposed to feel when they got everybody off the bus, and even when those two got off the bus, that could have been such a satisfying ending too. It's just the two of them sliding out. He's holding her. You could have had cops arrest the bad guy. Could have gone home. Everybody would
Right,
have a good
yeah.
time. That would have been such a satisfying ending. But then they want to do that again, like
But then you
they
have about 30 minutes left.
but it does the same thing. It does the same thing. I almost feel like the storyboard writer or the screenwriter, I'm sorry, was like, "Hey, we got these two endings, but we really don't know which one to pick." And the director was like, "Por qué no los dos? Let's incorporate both of
Yeah.
them." Insert like mariachi music of like dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Dun.
A lot of these movies could benefit from just being shorter. It's okay.
a
A
little
longer runtime doesn't mean better movie.
a little snippety snip would be a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a movie I saw recently that was short, and I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of glad that was a short movie."
Recently, what, for the podcast or
No, on my
on your own?
own, like on my own.
Max Keeble is a movie I saw that was 90 minutes.
Oh, I remember having that conversation where you were like, "Oh, this is great to watch a movie that's short."
Yeah, because they're all 2 hours now.
Yeah, they're all really long.
I saw The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey this past Sunday for the first time.
You you haven't seen the Hobbit films?
Nope, I've only seen The
Seen
Lord of the Rings and the extended cuts of each one. So yes, 12 hours.
You've gotten them all in.
And then I read The Hobbit and I never seen the movies.
That's right, you read The
Uh,
Hobbit.
Yeah, so
Oh my
uh
gosh. The Hobbit movies are really good.
I you know that's for a
Well,
conversation for a different day, but
that is the thing
yeah.
too. My opinion is kind of a hot take on that because anytime I see a YouTuber or
Lindsay
anybody,
Ellis
yeah, yeah,
most
just
famously breaking that down.
but like anytime I hear a YouTuber or even like I'm a big fan of like H3 and like PewDiePie, they always talk about how the Hobbit movies suck. And I know I'm in the minority being like, "Oh, the Hobbit movies are good." But I like them.
This isn't a Hobbit episode, but I will say I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's a long movie though. It's another 3-hour
Yeah,
film.
very long movie. Yes.
That was that was the big criticism is that The Hobbit is one book and he stretched it out into 3 movies, not like Lord of the Rings.
Right. One giant book per movie instead of one tiny little book for 3 movies. But yeah, and also I wanted to bring up the the acting is very like 90s action movie
Yeah,
acting, it could,
I like it.
but yeah, I
I
don't want
like
anything
it.
more than that. But
I
I do
like
want to
it.
call it out. I
Uh-huh.
do want to call it out.
We've spoken about how we kind of like these old movies. My love extends to the 90s. I love that camera quality when it looks a little grainy and it's not super crisp and things like that. I like the way it looks. Something about it in a film when I see it, I really dig it. I don't know if it's just me, but the cars in this movie are really durable. It feels like it looks like every car, including the bus and things like that, is made out of aluminum, but they're super durable. I was really impressed by that. I was like, dang, the 90s were on another level. Everything now is so sleek and breakable. Over here, they're just driving around, going off bridges.
It depends on the plot, Caroline, of course.
Of course, you got plot
If this
armor.
bus has to survive, it will survive.
It will survive. But yeah, I was digging the 90s feel of this
But
film.
I want to say we've brought this up a lot, but yeah, the graininess in the camera, I love it.
I
And
love
since I
it.
brought it up already, I wish The Hobbit looked a little grainier because it's way too high quality. I saw it on a very nice 4K.
Mister, we're not going to get into the Hobbit. Proceeds to get into the
I just gotta bring it up. I gotta bring it up. I saw it on a big, nice 4K TV with that high, um, what's it called? It was a big deal around the time of the movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
ref-
It was
Not the
shot
refresh
in
rate,
a
but
different frames.
48 frames per second.
Yes.
Yeah, as opposed to 24. And yeah, it was like you guys, it looks too good.
I
It
saw
looks
it
too good.
when I first saw it. I saw it IMAX the way the filmmakers and God intended it. Because I think even Peter
Peter
Jackson.
Jackson.
I was gonna say James Cameron. I don't know what I'm on, but I was.
Not yet, Caroline.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. We're almost there. Don't worry. Avatar 2 is on the way.
Oh, that'll be something. But yeah, Peter Jackson had said like his intended way to watch this film is in IMAX, and that was like his big way of promoting to go see the film in IMAX because that's how he wants people to see it. So I saw it in IMAX. It did look spectacular. It was an amazing theater experience. The only problem is it only works as an IMAX movie because once you see it on DVD, I have a good TV. It's a 4K TV, and when I rewatched it on that TV, it doesn't look as good. They should have brought those frame rates down for home release because it looks kind of cartoony sometimes, just a little bit. I don't know.
I didn't feel that. I didn't feel any cartooniness. I just felt like this is really high definition. Like it looks too good.
motion is a little bit off. Like for me, at least when I see it, the motion's a little off.
Does your TV have that? I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like FPS boost for TVs. Does it have that?
No, I don't. I don't know. I haven't
I forgot what
seen.
it's called.
I feel like Carl would know. If
Yeah,
we were to
Carl would
ask him,
know.
Carl would hands down know. But
It's like a debate among like
it's not
movie
motion.
YouTubers and stuff.
It's not motion blur, but it's something like
No,
that.
motion something, motion plus. No, I don't know, but yeah, usually there's like a divide of people who say like you got to turn it off. It doesn't look right with it on,
Yeah.
because that feature turns on like high frames for any movie. Any movie you watch on there would be higher frames. And I've seen a lot of movies with that on. I've seen usually when I see it at my friend's house, like I've seen Black Panther with that on. I've seen like Malignant and like all these movies, and I do notice it. Like the biggest complaint is like it makes movies look like a novela. You know how novelas are shot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So that is a problem, and I do notice it. But I feel like I've gotten to the point where I could look past it, and it's fine. But yeah, I think for The Hobbit, it was shot to look that way. Like it's at that frame per second to look that way. But yeah, anyways, thank you for tuning into the Hobbit portion of this episode.
Nested in our speed episode.
But I'm still holding. I'll let you know more about the Hobbit after this. After this,
Yeah, I think my favorite films of The Hobbit is like the second and the third. So you gotta let
he's
me
got.
know
I know Benedict shows up and he does his thing.
who else shows up. Is Lee Pace. That man is. Whew.
Doesn't Evangeline Lilly isn't that the one
Uh,
where she shows up?
yeah, yeah. She shows up in the second and the third. That's Evangeline Lilly.
That's the one where she goes, "Why does it hurt so much?"
That's in the third one.
Okay, I'm gonna like that one then.
It's gonna be good.
All right, cool.
If you're a Tolkien purist, disregard this part.
I'm sorry, all Tolkien fans. We let you down, but who let you down more, us or Peter Jackson with The Hobbit?
Peter Jackson. I'll tell
Exactly.
you that.
All right, Caroline. So is that everything we have on Speed?
I think so. I feel like there's not a lot to say about it. It's a very straightforward film. Anybody who's listening, you can watch it on HBO Max if you have it, and you can also watch it on Hulu. So there's both sides there. It was a straightforward good film. I feel like it's just there's they attempted to make it into a franchise. I looked it up. There's a sequel, but it's regarded as one of the worst sequels made like ever. And
Impossible.
because Keanu doesn't come out.
Yeah, I saw just a cover of it. I don't think Sandra Bullock is in it either, right?
She's in it. She's in it.
Oh,
She agreed to come back, but
oh wow,
Keanu did
okay.
not.
Yeah, that's when you know it's bad.
Yeah, when you lose your main guy. I mean, Sandra Bullock was great in this film, but Keanu made it work. He's the main character. Anytime a franchise loses its main character, that's when you know.
I'm thinking of Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift. Everyone loves that one.
Oh, I haven't seen Fast and the Furious films. Any of them.
What?
I saw the first one when it first came out, and I saw the TV. Sorry, not when it first came out. I saw the first one when it first came out on TV, like when it was on cable. So I saw like the TV version of it, and I wasn't into it, so I just didn't watch any of them after that.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen no Fast and Furious films.
So every time I reference Fast and Furious, it makes no sense then.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this has gone over my head.
Well, I usually, whenever I say Fast and Furious, I always talk about the action. Like if I'm, and I unfortunately, I always use it as an insult. Like I would say Black Widow had Fast and Furious action.
Well, I get that because I've seen like YouTube videos talking about Fast and Furious, talking about
Okay.
how it's like evolved over the years. So I understand some stuff, but I've never seen the films.
Okay. Wow. Huh. All right, guys. Tune in next week for the Fast and
No, no,
Furious
no. We're gonna watch the S movie.
saga.
No, I am not watching. Was it 8 movies?
Is 9.
9?
Yeah.
I am not watching 9 movies back
I'll
to
write it
back.
as Saga of the
No,
Fast and Furious.
nope,
So it could start as an S.
nope. Doesn't count.
Okay, but we're done here, right?
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. I keep this is just going to be a thing. I keep forgetting to do this at the beginning of the episode, but
We
if you're
don't do
listening,
it at the beginning, Caroline. This is how
we
we roll.
should because almost nobody hears all the
What?
way to the end.
This is for the special kind of people who hear
But
all the way to the end.
I want to grab more people in.
They got to make it to the end.
If you're still listening and you're listening to us on YouTube, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you want to get some notifications from us. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting platform and you want to hear more, hit the follow button. And if you're a returning listener, give us an honest review. We would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks for everyone who listens to the end. You guys are pretty cool. It's nice. I feel like we got something. It's like a special club at the end here.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope you guys are doing well. And thanks for listening. Goodbye.